Wow, you got a really nice view here. So now we're going to increase the gamma a bit. Okay, let's go back to image adjust and make this a little bit brighter, I guess, whatever you want to do it. And then contrast, there we go. Now, the colors are too strong, I find. So you go back to saturation and bring this down just a tad. The lower the color, the better you're going to get, I find. Number 8 is not too bad. Okay, sounds good, Jack. And here, let me recenter the sun here. I got this mounted on top of the LX200 16-inch in Altaz, so I don't even know if this is aligned properly. But anyways, we'll go back to where we were, and you certainly can get some really nice detail. And no matter what the size of scope that you're using, you could get some pretty good images. Now, it's just going to play with the adjustment contrast here. Now, the lower the contrast, the stronger the contrast, the lower the saturation's got to go. You really have to play with this to match it up really well. This is 7, so at 7 will be fine. You could bring up the... Yeah, this is the Coronado 60 millimeter, and it's mounted in Altaz. The D piece is the dead pixel control, so you could actually illuminate them on the fly with this camera. And if you do deep sky with it, or you decide just to do some deep sky with it, you can. You can actually illuminate the hot pixel, the dead pixels, without taking a dark frame. The software on this is super sophisticated, and it's adjusting on the fly. So let's go back to the histogram here. I'm going to put this at default. And the reason is so we could actually see the prominence at the same time. So if you adjust the contrast a certain way, you'll see the prominence popping out. You don't want to make it too bright. So bring down the brightness a little bit. You do have some surface detail, and you do have some... Hang on a sec. Just want to go see if I'm at default here. Yeah. So you got to go back and forth and play a little bit. These are the two main ones. Of course, the exposure control is at 1 milliseconds and 13 microseconds. You have to play with this. Keep it as low as possible. Gain at 0. This is not the sky that you're using here. So the 60 millimeter Coronado is working really good for that. Now, let's go check what are we looking at here. The ROI, because I got the ROI gauge, all right? We are going to put back where it actually is. This is the actual field of view of the camera. So you can imagine you don't need anything else on this. The sun is very little. And again, you can go and adjust. You could probably make the saturation a little stronger because we're going to see some prominence. Bring up the sharpness a tad. There you go. And if you want, you can increase that contrast. But I'm going to leave it the way this thing, please, so we can see some of the prominence bit. Make it a little bit brighter. And go down. And again, you could play with the histogram and adjust that to what you like. When you make it more contrasty like this, you're going to see stronger color, I recommend that you bring it down. Keep the color saturation down, less noise. Otherwise, this is what's going to happen. This is you can actually point exactly the bandwidth of your telescope, of your scope. Now, uh, let me go back here for a minute. Here, you could adjust the resolution. Instead of using to 1824 by 12, 16. And of course, you got to do 1, 2, 3 from the CMOS. Again, so we're up to 35 seconds. Friends, you can if you do this, you have the choice of 55K. This is the God. Internet sucks. Let me refresh. Give me a moment. You know, hopefully you get to hear me. I just did a refresh. Refresh your browsers. Yeah, I got no choice, Jack. It's the DSL here. It sucks right now, really, really, really bad. Can you see the audio, the video and the audio? Okay, we're gonna go back to ROI. center to start go right here in the middle, just so we can increase so a little bit faster here. So enter it and click at the bottom, OK, and go back on display and fit to the screen. Beautiful. So just give me a moment and I'll do that. So now we're going to shut down, ready to take pictures so I could actually snap away, broadcasting, snap, and then go back to the white balance is engaged. Here, you could go to, meaning you could actually fine tune what your telescope is set for, and which is the color. It's they're moving automatically. So you could actually go up to 15K for color-wise. Wow, can you ever pull some of those prominence now? And then, so the default was 55. Where do we set it at? Well, 55 would be, don't hit default because you're going to change the entire color system here. So we're going to turn off the lock color white balance. Or we can leave it on, doesn't matter. Image adjust is very important. This is color correction and temperature. And now we are going to do a little bit of different adjustments. So you could really go on the surface, but I like the prominence. I want to some prominence on the right, some at 5 o'clock, some at 2 o'clock, some at 11 o'clock or so, and some at 8 o'clock. This is pretty cool to look at it. So you need to adjust that properly, go back to histogram if you want, and we certainly can play a little bit with the gamma, and then you can move the histogram and get a really nice. Now for that, we need to lower the saturation a little bit. Here, 7 seems to be good. And you can set it up back to default. I still like the gamma down here. So we'll leave it at 1.80 for now. Image adjust is where you're going to spend a lot of time. You could go sharpness 0. And then you could go to full sharpness. That really helps. It's not a noisy sharpness either, because all of this is done on the fly with this software. Very important when you do adjustment on the moon, or if you're going to do it on the sun. So we can go that way a little bit, and then let's go back to histogram, and we're going to make it worse, but now colors are too strong. What we would need to do is lower the saturation some more. And there's still no Newton rings in there. So you can have a nice view like that. This is pretty good. This is pretty neat. And of course, you can increase without touching the histogram, which is independent from light and contrast. Compared to other softwares, it's part of the histogram. This one is not. It's totally independent. So this is pretty cool. Just wondering if I need to go to my dome. I don't think so. So we could leave it that way. And now don't forget, I'm using the ROI. Now, the real way to do it is to use a Barlow. I brought with me a 2.5 times we could certainly use the Barlow to get a much better resolution here. Now, can we use ROI for another area? Yes, you can. So, all right, here we go. Display to fit, and it's the RO here, give or take. And then go back, and now because I'm in the ROI and I'm using a lower fit to the screen. And instead of high, we're going to have a little bit more difficulties and seeing what we need to see properly. With a bar load, that would work a lot better. Obviously, conditions are not too good. You could see everything dance pretty quick. Yes, the Apple is exactly what I brought with me, but I'm not using it right now. So again, the sharpness plays a major role. I don't even know if I focus properly. Let me get up and go check if the focus is right. I'll be right back. On a much bigger telescope, more aperture, you wouldn't have this effect here. So yeah, you certainly can. These are the pictures I've taken. There you go. And now we're going to get out of the ROI. This is fit. The image is not quite crisp enough. Let's go back to fit. This is the actual sun, the sun. Let me went over. You basically pick what you want. Check mark. You hit the check mark, and here you display fit to the screen. Just fit. If you use yours on 152 millimeter, you're going to get a really good result. This is 60, so it's a lot smaller. All right, and bring up some of the features. I'm going to close that. I'm going to grab a couple of snaps. There you go. You just go on top and hit that little camera capture, and it's going automatically into the file save. You could have it done in JPEG, TIFF, all four of them at the same time. Here you can get CLIF, TIFF, and JPEG. I like JPEG, simple, it works. And I made a PAT SolarCam 20, so we could actually go look at those pictures. You need to play with the software a little bit, but the idea is to stick to the basics. Hang on a sec there. SolarCam 20. Holy Moses. When was that taken? On the 21st. When did I take that? Okay, I think it's this one here. See, the broadcast is taking so much. Nice, very nice. This is today. This is right now. This is the image I snapped, and this is only one frame. So if you would take the time to stack a bunch of them, process them. This is the one without with prominence at the same time, but this is the one that I like right here. There you go. Nice. And we're back to live. So what you snap is what you get, what you're seeing it. Yes, it does. The file has a date. You could select date. You could select how you want it, or even seconds, months and seconds, day and night, hours, months, seconds, whatever. You select what you want. I use it in JPEG. I'm not too picky for that. Some other people are. I'll probably go TIFF if you want to get really nice images. Okay, is this thing still working? Yes, it is. All right. So, DICOM is for professional. What it is, it's a way to further improve the image using a specific software. And the DICOM is really popular when you do research in biology and things like that. They use DICOM. So you could use that if you want, providing you have the software to allow it to process it. But DICOM is really, really, really quite sophisticated. So let's go back in the middle. Don't forget, this is a ROI. It's not a Barlow type because the field of view is a lot wider than that on that scope. But you could still get a lot of really good results. And we could increase the brightness, increase the contrast a bit. I'm going to lower the, I always find about 100 on the sharpness seems to be the sweet spot that I like. But then again, that depends on the telescope you're going to use, the solar scope you're going to use. And of course, we could go more. Oh, you can see some birds flying through. This is neat. And then you could bring that up. Again, we're going to go to saturation, bring that down a little bit. You could go black and white if you want. And it's really nice in black and white, actually. And if you want true black and white, you can. You have to go to white balance and hit grayscale. This is true black and white, as all the colors, red, green, and blue, are not even. That means red's always more sensitive. The gain will be reduced accordingly. The green will be increased. Blue will be increased even more. So you could have a real grayscale image. So you could do quite a lot. I mean, you need to play here. You got to keep in mind, exposure control is at 1 milliseconds. This is your start. You could go a little bit more if you wish. Let's go to 2 milliseconds, and you got to press OK. That's overexposed. So what can we do about that? Let's go experiment. We're going to, wow, can we ever see the prominence there? Nice. So, see, 2 milliseconds is too much for my scope. There you go. 1 millisecond seems to be the sweet spot for this thing here. There. You see a bunch of birds flying by. This is neat. Yeah, me too. I like that grayscale function there, Jack. I totally agree with you there. You've got the delay captured as well, so you can tell it how many frame that you want. Time delay in minutes, captures video, captures frame, total frame. You could have 10 more, whatever you want. You could also have video record. And the full frame, no compression. It's for the encoder, or you could select MPEG-4, which is pretty well standard for compression. Time delay is the same thing, hard disk, RAM, whatever that you... ADF5 is a way to stack. It'll grab images in the darkest area, in the brightest area, and it's going to balance it out for you. So the one on the left on the right is what the EDF is doing. And now the image is getting fuzzy because we're no because of that. That's what's going to happen. So we're not going to use it today because I'm not using a pull-up. Yeah, you do. I would imagine, Jack, you do capture more than birds and things like this. So this is pretty cool, the stuff you could view with that. Excuse me. So this is default. Now, can you go adjust that using strictly? Yes, you can. So without using any histogram or gamma adjustment, it's going to be about 85 degrees today, 86 degrees, really, really warm. Yesterday and today was really warm, but it was cloudy yesterday. But today is full sun, and I will be broadcasting tonight. I brought over a new camera, and two of them actually, and I'm going to test them out on a 16-inch. It's going to be quite a lot of fun. One of them is the DS16 CTEC. The other one is a 20 megapixel that I've been working on, which has the exact same chip as this camera. So we're going to have a bit of fun tonight. It's got a super cooler in it, and it's going to use the same software as what we're using here at the moment. So looking forward to play with that. So let's go back here to, so using you could have it set up any way you want, and I like the default, and the gamma is a 2.10. So let's leave it there and only works. We're going to work only with what we got in the image adjust window. There we go. This is full tilt, and what I would like to do is go back to histogram and play with the gamma. The gamma is the center part. There, you get to fine tune this. You could bring it up to if you want, but, and again, there are no Newton rings with this camera. Haven't tried it with a Barlow yet. Maybe I should go get it and give it a try. Here, I'm going to try about here. There's no hotspot either. A lot of the time on the smaller chip, you're going to have a hotspot, meaning your telescope is tuned to one bandwidth. The center will be brighter, or the right's going to be brighter, the left's going to be brighter, and the right will be darker. You don't have much of that here because the chip is bigger. And using the ROI, it expands your usage here, that you could really pinpoint to what you want. So that's about it, actually. It's pretty cool. Now, if we go back to default, which I don't want to do, this will, okay, now you see the prominence. You can, if you want, lower that. You still got surface detail and prominence at the same time. This is an indication of a very, very high dynamic range. That's why tonight I'm anxious to try that camera on the 16-inch. Yeah, a hotspot is normal. I haven't seen it with this one yet because it's a much larger sensor. So what we could do here is, all right, we could adjust about like this. And what I like is you get to see the prominence at the same time. It's pretty cool. You see them all around the sun. 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, there's two of them there, and 5 o'clock. No, the 8.4 is good as well. The 8.4 this is a SolarCam, the normal SolarCam. This is SolarCam 20. So it's got 20 megapixels instead of 8.4. So we got more than double. So you got a little bit more control. I find that this one here will work better on a bigger scope. But then again, if you use a Barlow, you're good to go. And if I put the Barlow on there, I'd be really curious to try, to be honest with you. And I don't know if we're going to get a good result out of it. Excuse me, holy cow. I could always try the Barlow in there. Okay, the color's a little bit weak, so we're going to increase the colors a bit. I adjust the color until the surface detail pops out against the color. So for me, it's between 7 and 11. 9 earlier this morning was the best that I was able to get, and it really worked well. Here now you get to see the prominence at the same time. It's nicely, evenly illuminated because of the chip, the sensor that we're using in there. This is pretty neat. So again, we get to okay, the more you do that, the saturation's got to come down a little bit. 7 seems to be a good spot. And the white balance, we could go gray, which is really neat, actually. You still get to play with what you need to see in black and white. Nice. Very nice. What about the, yeah, we get to see also the prominence at the same time. Oh, you could do some extreme adjustments, but I certainly like this here. That's the black and white is really nice. It's gorgeous. Is this thing still working? You guys still hear me? Okay, that sounds good. So the black and white is cool. When you click on the grayscale, this is pretty cool. You still get to adjust your sharpness, bring it down. I like it about halfway to 100. I find even 80 to 100 on my scope. This is going to change on your scope and everybody else's solar scope. Yeah, I didn't find a negative on this guy yet. I thought I had it the other day. The hell is this? Delay capture. Video EDF. You could stitch the image live, so you can have a really, yeah, really, there's no reverse. Where's the negative on this? What the heck? Bidding. No. 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 Okay. Let's go back to color. I need to expand this thing here. Delete, import, reset. No. Delay capture. No. No. EDF. No. I thought it did have it. Real-time dynamic adjustments. Okay. All right. All right, binning. Trigger, other settings. Ah, there you go. Okay. All right. Whoa, cool. I feel like a dumbass this morning. This is cool. Now let's go then in black and white. Yeah. Chicken dinner, huh? That sounds good, actually. May go to Kentucky Fried Chicken later. Okay. Grayscale is cool, nice. But now I'm going to put everything out of whack. So for that, I would have to go grayscale. Let me recenter this. Somehow it's starting to... Oh, I had Burger King there yesterday. It sucked. I think I'll go for Chinese today. Michelin's got to work today, so I'm gonna head out to local Chinese guy here and get some rice. I have to go on a diet apparently. Okay, the negative, it works pretty good. So, well, can you ever see them? Nice. This is pretty cool. Yeah, talking about this food, I just want to shut down and go eat. I'm a live eating machine. My ex-wife used to say I was a garbage disposal. She'd step on my foot and my mouth was open, just like the old-fashioned garbage cans, you know. Yeah, my ex-wife Diane there. I was married from 86 to 93. She'd say, and I was skinny back then. She goes, man, oh man, you're a real garbage disposal. And I asked her, how do you figure? She goes, all I got to do is step on your foot and then your mouth opens up just like the old-fashioned garbage cans. You can dump everything in it. Yeah. On occasion, it looks like... I still practice this, but nobody step on my toe these days. I got to step myself on the other foot with the other foot. Then it opens up and it tastes good. But anyways.
Oh, God, Russell. I'm a fussy eater, but I'm still 310.
Oh, me too. I'm a fussy eater. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
310?
Oh, you're a big boy too then. Watch this. In 2020, January, I weighed 386 pounds. I went down to 309 in 8 months. So at the beginning of 2021, I stayed at about 309. I was really happy, man. I lost a lot of weight. I went on this thing called Ozempic. That's it. Anyways, and now lately I've been gaining it back. So I'm back to about 315, 318. It's coming up slowly, so I really got to watch it. Yeah, I'm about 100 and some odd pounds more than I would like, but it's a no-win. It's a no-win scenario. I mean, you're talking about to starve yourself, and it's about survival. It's a natural survival, but being fat is a disease, plain and simple. No matter what you do, you could be successful at it, and at the Heart Institute, they confirmed to me it was a disease. It's okay, I got a fat disease. Yeah, it's yeah, you slowly start to go up. This is what happened to me. I was about that too. For me, 220 was my best. That was back in the 90s, and slowly but surely you creep up, and you don't know why, and you haven't changed anything, but you get older. That's what it is. Yeah. And they told me to go on a seafood diet. Well, I don't like seafood. So I figure seafood diet. You eat all the food you see. So that's a seafood diet. It's a seafood diet. Eat all the food you see. That's the one I'm on. Okay, I'm going to flip... It runs in your family, I think, because I know people that the whole family is skinny and they eat like pigs. And I'm literally like dogs and pigs. I was told by the Heart Institute that the only two animals that you could actually feed endlessly and they will never stop eating is a pig, and the other one is a dog. So apparently I classified in there, but I have to control myself. That made me feel bad when he told me this, and it worked. So I really watch what I eat now. I know people that the whole family's skinny. They could eat all what they want. It's just the way their metabolism is in the family.
States have to collect money. They're putting cameras on these.
Actually, Russ, join the club. I tried and tried and tried, and yes, I agree. It tastes good. Just bring it in. I still have to be careful. I got to watch the diabetes, and anyways, I tell you, food's a tough give up. It's not easy. Okay, I got to get back to the sun there because I'm going to start licking that sun on the screen here. They're like an ice cream cone. Okay, where was I? Okay, this is, and I'm going to take the negative out. And, all right, light blue, there you go. Let's bring this down a bit. Oh, we got some pretty good views. So again, someone needs to work a lot at it. The resolution is going to play a major, major role. And because I have this at mid-resolution, we're at 16 frames per second. If I go at the full 20 megapixel resolution, well, it's going to be a better image, obviously. And was our so at 4.243 frame per second now. But this is the full resolution. Oh, there you go. It's a nicer, more resolution about it. I hope you didn't leave the. You'll have to edit that about this food crisis situation. Light frequencies, you got to leave it at DC. This is if you're going to use that indoors. And the light frequency is to beat against fluorescent light, 60 hertz incandescent lights and things like that, the lighting for indoor purposes. You want to leave it at DC, so just leave it open. Just leave it open. Oh, it's educational now, Jack. Okay. Don't leave that in there. Holy Moses. You can't leave that in there. You got to blank the audio somewhere. You got to say, look at the bad guy pigging out now. He's eating a big bowl. He's eating a big pizza while he's doing a broadcast and watching the sun. Yeah, right. Oh, boy. Are you sure it's educational or entertainment? It's more like it. Oh, man. You got to have a bit of fun. But anyways, there, guys, that's pretty well how this thing works. And I really like it. I didn't bring the SolarCam 8. You read my mind, Jack. I didn't want to say anything, but holy cow, you're starting to know me pretty good. It does look like a pizza.
I told the opposite of something. You look at it, it's
Time is it? Are they open? 11 o'clock? Yeah, they're open. I can order that if I want, but it's not going to happen. I have to resist. So this is what I'm going to do. Instead of, I'm just going to shut it down and go in the house and raid the fridge. And I know there's not much to eat in the fridge until Monday when I'll do the groceries. So I'll go check it out. Well, gentlemen, I'll leave it at that. Yes, you are indeed. You are indeed. I love it. Well, our holidays was yesterday, Jack. It was July the 1st. Canada Day was yesterday. Today's just a regular day, and you guys, Monday is your it's your holiday that you're having. Us, it's July the 1st, and you guys, you got it on July the 4th, which is very similar. Okay, Russ, nice, Russell, nice to see you again. And tonight I'll be on with the 16 CTEC on the 16-inch. There is a few things done to it, and I'm going to attempt to use it. So It's supposed to be super clear tonight. I'm really looking forward for that. Oh, I'd say about 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock or so. So it's still going to be light outside, but I don't care. I still want to just aim at something there and enjoy the view and then play with it and see what kind of trouble we're going to get into. Okay, gentlemen, you have a good afternoon, and thank you for being here, and we'll see you tonight. Okay, take care. Yeah, 2-hour difference. I think there's 2 or 3, 2 as well for Russell out there as well. So you have a good day all.